Here I want to explain the preparing for an interview. The first, carefully examine the job description. During your prep work, you ask the employer posted job description as a guide. The job description is a list of the qualification, quality, and background the employer is looking for in a ideal candidate. Number two, consider why you are interviewing and your qualification. Before you interview, you should have a good understanding of why you want to the job and why you are qualified. You should be prepared to explain your interest in the opportunity and why you are the best person for the role. Number three, perform research on the company and role. Researching the company you are applying to is an important part of preparing for an interview. Not only will it help provide context for your interview conversation, but it will also help you when preparing truthful questions for your interviews. Number four, consider your answer to common interview questions. Will you won't be able to predicate every question you be asked in an interview. There are a few common questions you can plan answer for. You might also consider developing an elevator pitch that quickly describe how you are, what you do, and what you want. There are some jobs that may involve a test or evaluation during the interview process. Number five, practice your speaking voice and body language. It's important to make a positive and lasting impression during the interview process. You can do this by practicing a confident, strong speaking voice and friendly, open body language. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Apronika Mega. I want to talking about six prepare several thoughtful questions for the interviews. Many employers feel confident about candidates' work. Thoughtful question about the company and the position. You should take time before the interview to prepare several questions for your interviews. Chat so your research the company and I will first about the position. Conduct mock interviews. Just like public speaking, practicing interviews is the best way to relieve anxiety and improve your confidence. Practice may be tedious, but repeatedly experiencing the interview process will make you more comfortable and help you give the right impression. 8. Print hard copies of your resume. Most employers ask for digital copies of your resume with the application, but they may not have easy access to it during the interview itself. Having copies to present to multiple interviews so that you are prepared and organized. You should have at least 3 copies to profit from multiple interviews plus one for yourself to follow along. 9. Prepare your 9. Prepare your travel engagements. Jobs interview tend to be stressful for most people for many reasons, but getting to the interview can be a challenge in itself. If your interview is an unfamiliar area or even an entirely new city, it can be a source of anxiety to find your way around and make sure that you show up on time. 10. Sell yourself. One of the biggest challenges in an interview is selling yourself. Most people are uncomfortable with this idea, but presenting yourself actually and positively doesn't have to feel like a sale. The truth is that you do have professional skill and experience that may set you apart from other applications, so it's acceptable and expected for you to acknowledge them to your potential employer. Tell us, get ready to follow up after the interview. After your interview, you should prepare to follow up with the employer. Doing to remain the employer of your conversation, show them you are genuinely interested in the position and gives you opportunity to bring up points you forgot to mention.
Hello, my name is Kornelia Sanga. I will explain about process and method of news broadcasting. To get news that has been suggested in the media, it all goes through a long process so that news can be sent and heard according to what happens. Whether it's a reporter or journalistic, is a person whose job is to find and compile news to be published in the newspaper, magazine, radio, and television. Journalists are also called journalists or journalists and people who work in a mass media by regularly carrying out journalistic activity or reporting and writing news. Obeying the codes of ethics, mastering the times of their copyright, and mastering journalistic technique, especially news writing and interview. There are three qualifications for journalists. 1. Codes of conduct or menaati kode etik. Second, habits or menguasai bidang liputan. 3. Skill or menguasai teknik jurnalistik. 1. Journalistic codes of ethics. Journalistic codes of ethics is the professional ethic of journalists. The main characters of a professional journalist is adhering to a code of ethics, just a doctor, lawyer, and other professionals have and obey a code of ethics.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Katarina H.P Situmorang. I am the last speaker. Okay, the next material is journalistic engineering or G skills. Journalism techniques or journalism skills are special skills or skills in terms of reporting, writing, and editing news, as well as insight and use of journalistic language or media language. Practically speaking, the journalistic basis that a journalist must have is the expertise to cover events, write stories, conduct interviews, and comply with the code of ethics. Okay, 1. Journalistic language. 2. Journalistic product. 3. New. Number 1. Journalistic language. Number 2. Journalistic product. Journalistic work. 3. New processing. 4. Editorial management. 5. Journalistic media. Types of mass media. Broadcast process. The broadcasting process occurs from the time the idea was created until the idea is disseminated. Broadcasting is determined by three elements, namely the studio, transmitter, and receiver.
These three elements are later referred to as the broadcast trilogy. 1. Studio is a system that plays a role in a broadcasting station as a totality integrated subsystem. The studio part contributes to the provider of regular, continuous programs. Number 2. Transmitter. Transmitter is one of the elements in the broadcasting process which functions to deliver image and sound from the studio in the form of electromagnetic waves that carry a lot of information to be transmitted or transmitted via cables or optical fibers. 3. Receiver. Receiver aircraft is a tool that functions to convert the electromagnetic waves that carry information in the form of sound signals and or sound signal and project image signal into a form of message that can be enjoyed. The last material or the last discuss about broadcasting product. Broadcasting is an activity of broadcasting, namely a series of programs in the form of audio, sound, or visual image transmitted in the form of image signals, either by air or via cable and or optical fiber that can be received by receivers at home.